Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another reloading chat. So let's get this started. I got a lot of 556 I need to load up. Now, we have this situation going on with President Obama and his administration and these Iranian hostages, and people are arguing about the fact of did he pay them $400 million for these American hostages? And of course, the far left is claiming, no, he didn't. And even I've seen left-wing news stories saying it's obvious. It's like he's published all the reasons he's doing it. It's not about freeing these hostages. It wasn't ransom. And then you see some conservative news stories saying, oh, it was clearly over the hostages. And everyone's missing the bigger picture here. And this is what's really, really scary, is that when you look at his actual reasons for what he's claiming he did it for, it's actually worse. Way worse than if it was just to buy some hostages back. Because, we don't pay for hostages. We don't negotiate with terrorists. But we did negotiate with terrorists. We just gave terrorists $400 million. All right, what are the actual reasons, publicly stated reasons, and this infuriates me as an American citizen. What is the actual reason he's claiming he gave them the money? Well, it goes back to an arms deal because we as Americans are the biggest arms dealers in the world, right up there with the Russians. We compete with them for that to arm the world. Well, in this case, apparently in 1979, Iran paid us $400 million for weapons that they didn't receive. And so now, 37 years later, Obama decides to refund the money to them. "37 years later, he feels it's his duty to do so. And why? Because it's part of the Iran nuclear agreement that we made with them. The agreement we made as part of their nuclear program, an international agreement to allow them to do this, that he decided that we needed to square up with them as part of the deal, that they follow certain sanctions that we impose. Are you serious? You have a nation that honestly shouldn't be allowed to have a nuclear program. We should be dropping spec ops guys in there to take care of it, to kill everyone involved. We should be having surgical missile strikes at the locations where they're researching this stuff. Under no circumstances should we be allowing Iran to build nuclear weapons. It's insane. This president does not have our best interest in mind. It's pretty obvious that they are our enemy, will continue to be our enemy. They're an extremist Islamic regime. People in the free world have no business doing business with them or considering them allies in any way. It's very clear from their own words and what they've said and done that if they get these warheads operational, they're going to launch them at Israel, probably our single most important strategic ally around the world. Was oftentimes Great Britain, but currently it would be Israel as our most important military ally from a strategic standpoint, which is probably a video topic worthy of being a video in and of itself, of why specifically that is. They are going to launch them at Israel. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if, since we're dropping the ball, if Mossad doesn't go in and sort some of this out themselves. It would be in their best interest to do so. But what we've done, not only are we allowing Iran to develop nuclear weapons, again, an administration that does not have our best interest in mind, an administration that really only seems to care about arming and helping the Islamic world. That's it. That seems to be the primary goal of the Obama administration, which comes as no surprise. But that seems to be his most important goal. And so we're not only allowing them to develop nuclear weapons, we just gave them $400 million. We just paid for their nuclear weapons program. We just funded it. Everyone was talking about this hostage thing. Like, oh, no, he did it to hostages. He's lying about the hostages when he told you the truth. And the truth is way, way worse. Did a weapons deal gone bad 37 years ago that we're going to make restitution with a dangerous regime that is building nuclear weapons to attack one of our allies? And we gave them the money so that they could fund the program. We just funded their program. That $400 million is going to be turned into nuclear weapons. They can hire a whole new team of scientists with that. They can buy more enriched uranium with that to experiment with. We just funded it. We aided and abetted the enemy to build weapons of mass destruction that they have admitted they are going to use on one of our allies, that is their purpose of it. And this isn't treason. People who are talking about the hostages have lost the plot here. It would be so much better if it was about hostages instead of an old arms deal gone wrong. So we're going to refund money from weapons that we didn't supply them several administrations ago, 37 years ago. We don't owe them anything. Iran has no leverage over us. And it's not like they're going to honor anything, any terms that we give them. I mean, seriously, does anyone think that they're going to listen to anything that we say? They're going to follow the sanctions that we impose in this agreement? No, we need to go in and just simply stop them from building them. You know, at a certain point, people talk about, well, we've got to be fair. If we're going to have them, everyone needs to have them. No, they don't need to have them. That's the whole point. People are losing the plot of having strategic advantage of being the most powerful nations in the world. Fairness, equality, how about survival? I'm about surviving. I'm about keeping our empire strong enough that we can sustain our economy and sustain our own security. I don't care about equality for radicalized countries that want to kill us and our allies. And arming them, giving them money to fund a nuclear weapons program because of an old arms deal is ridiculous. Again, people have lost the plot here. This is probably the single biggest act of treason we've seen under this administration. This is directly aiding and abetting the enemy to build weapons of mass destruction that will be used against our allies. This is insane. And this whole thing that people are arguing about hostages instead of realizing that this is about arms and weapons. We're refunding money from a weapons deal from 37 years ago so that they specifically have funds to fund their nuclear weapons program. This is insane. Forget about the hostages. You guys need to see the bigger picture. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.